Good morning, traders. This is Shogun Chat 247. I train traders how to trade in harmony with the market. Today, 22nd of May 2025, we are trading the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. The idea with this trade is actually it's something that I've done a video about. Okay, There's, we have a downtrend in the CAD yen. I'm just drawing the last couple of waves. We're using the wave of success tools here. We have a high. So as you can see, we have a structure here. This is a structure, all right, followed by a break with a pin. That tells us the low will be manipulated again. Okay, so we have that as a very strong picture. Okay, so we go to the execution chart, 1 minute chart. You can see 1 hour house is downtrend, which is very significant actually. But we can look at this chart. Okay, we can call this a trend because what is the definition of a trend? On this 1 minute is a series of higher highs and higher lows. We have a break of structure here. Okay, so for those that I've done a video in the past where I was talking about what a trend changing pattern is. Okay, and that is the key for us. If you are a trend trading uh, trader, okay, that you follow the trend, this is the most important thing you can learn, is the trend changing pattern. So when price made this high and they gave us this pullback, we have to be able to understand the information the price is giving us in the pullbacks. We can't compare this pullback to this pullback or even this one. Okay, what we do is we look for the situation. We have a low here followed by this one, so we label this 1, then the following one will be 2, and once we see 2 in a pullback like this, we know we have a trend changing pattern. Therefore, once they manipulate it, I spoke also about the type of manipulation. In this case, it is one swipe to the upside, followed by a pullback. This pullback even gave it away because it's a very strong pullback. Then a failure. That means at the break here, you can short. Aggressive trader, I short the trade at the second pass here because we've seen this information. We can count the candles as well. So now the low that started the move will be manipulated. Okay, this low here, that's the lower low that created this uptrend. So this low will eventually be broken, and that will give us a continuation of the trend on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, the only area you want to now look for buying opportunities is below this low here. Once the price breaks below the 103.35, that will be a buy. No, not that will be a buy. Once that wave structure completes, we can then look for a buying opportunity. That's the picture in front of us. So let's go back to the trading view chart. We can project this. So we've drawn the high to low of that wave. So there's a lower high here. Can connect this to this. So that's the structure. That's the structure. That's the structure. Okay. So for us, how do we know where this price is gonna go to? To be honest, that's not important, but we can do this. Measure from here all the way down. We're looking for the key ratio. So here's the first target, second target, and the extensions are there. Okay. When we see this actually, we can, this is true, we structure 2 based on this formation because this price did not close above here. So that is a fade there. So we can use, can put the extension tool on top of this. Looking for confluence. We have a confluence here. We have here. You see all these levels. This one is stronger. It's very close. We have the extension one here close as well. Okay, so that's basically the play. See, price has broken the low now. Okay, very strong trade. And the reason we are able to execute this trade is because of the information price has given us. Some people will say it's very difficult to understand what price is doing, but if you learn how to count the waves and be able to interpret correctly what a structure is, what a momentum is, and stuff like that, then you always need to look for a momentum against the trend. Then you can apply the wave of success methodology in terms of the breakup, how many manipulation, because we know there's always going to be a manipulation in the forex market. Therefore, we use that to our own advantage to be able to execute our trade at the best possible price. Okay, so let's see how this is gonna play out. The London session is coming up. Okay, are we gonna have a follow through or are we gonna have a reversal? We don't know yet. So we, in a general picture, this is actually a trend changing pattern also. Okay, to the downside. Okay, but that will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we've seen more than 2. So this low now becomes a momentum low, and we can do the same thing that we did here. We can look for a situation here. Okay, so if we're gonna buy, we have to see how price reacts at this low. All right, if we, and the price coming down, okay, we have 1 of 8 here, 103.22, and we have minus 1 of 8, 103.02. That's another story entirely, which I will explain in a bit. Let's pause this right now. Okay, so I've closed the trade, reversed the position because the same thing that got us in here is happening exactly here. If you look at this, we had, I said to you before, I said this is a trend changing pattern to the bigger trend coming down. Okay, now the origin of it has been broken and we can see a failure here. Okay, so we broke it, we had a pullback, we failed to make a lower low, and we come price traded above the center point. Okay, okay, so that is one break. Okay, then we expect a continuation of a trend, this trend. Okay, the 1 minute trend. This is just a single one break manipulation, and we expect this high, which is the origin, to be broken. Okay, for a bigger wave. to start. All right, time is 7:23. I'm going to pause again. We were using the low as a stop loss because if this is valid, okay, price should not break below here. If it breaks below here, that means there will be more lows. All right. Okay, so the price action is developing nicely. I'm gonna buy here. We have, I'm gonna delete this now because the downside is limited. It's not going anywhere down. Based on the formation, we have a low which has been manipulated. This is a trend changing pattern. So for us, I'm gonna use Russell for this because that's the starting point of another wave structure. Here's gem 48 here, 104.02. That will be the first area to target. 61 pips. The stop loss is very small. You have to use the low this morning. Okay, 8 pips. All right, so let's go to the 1 minute chart again to see what's going on. So we have the price action is developing nicely. Okay, so we've broken the low, this low. We had a lower high, higher low, higher high. That is 1. Okay, so that confirms that the high probability is price will go up, then followed by a momentum, which is 2. That becomes a 1 wave structure. We've seen a 1 to the downside. That is 2. We're counting the wave structure now. Okay, so this is not Elliott wave. This is 2. Okay, because it broke the low. That becomes a structure. We have a higher momentum, lower momentum high. If this should break, we should see an explosion to the upside.